Welcome back to Peak City Gym, the premier fitness facility here in Apex, North Carolina. My name is Keegan Hanks, and I'm going to be your host. Today, we're going to talk about what I think to be the foundation of any stress management, and that's going to be your breathing. You might be thinking, breathing? I do that every day, and I'm still stressed. Well, yes, we're talking about a specific method when you're breathing. The goal is to bring awareness and intention into our breath. When we do this, our body is able to get into a much more relaxed and calm state. So here's why breathing is so effective at stress management. Breathing directly interacts with our autonomic nervous system. This is the part of the nervous system that controls our stress response. When you're stressed, your body naturally reverts to a much more shallow and rapid way of breathing that's coming through your chest. But this relationship works both ways. When we take deliberate, deep breaths through our diaphragm, that's sending a signal to our nervous system and to our brain that we are safe and able to relax. Deep, slow breathing activates our parasympathetic nervous system. If you remember back to biology in high school or college, this is the rest and digest system. This is going to naturally counteract the stress response and put ourselves back into a more neutral, relaxed state. And the best part is breathing techniques are always going to be free, they're always going to be available, and you can do them literally anywhere without any equipment. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 breathing techniques that are particularly effective at stress management. It's going to start from most basic and going up in complexity. This first technique that I've kind of alluded to is diaphragmatic or belly breathing. This is the foundation of all breathing techniques. Most people, especially when they're stressed, which we've spoken about is kind of all the time, are going to take shallow breaths through their chest. Belly breathing engages our primary breathing muscle, the diaphragm. This helps us take more full, efficient breaths. Let me show you how it's done. To practice diaphragmatic breathing, I want you to find a comfortable place to sit where your back can be supported. We're going to take one hand and place it directly over our chest. The other hand, going to place it over our belly just below our rib cage. This is going to allow us to feel the movement of our breath through our body. The goal with this breathing practice is to have our hand expand and contract with our breath while our chest and our hand on our chest stays relatively stationary. So when we inhale through our nose, we're going to breathe all the way down, expanding through our belly, and then exhaling, we're going to push the air out through our lips and bring our stomach back in. Again, chest stays relatively stationary. So let's practice a few breaths. You may feel almost like a stretching kind of going all the way through the middle of your body. That's your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is going to attach pretty much all the way around your body, almost in a sheet. So as you breathe, your lungs are pushing it down, expanding your stomach out, and then coming back up. As we do these, you may notice your mind wandering. Really try to bring it back and just stay attentive to your breath. We really want to start to build some awareness in our breathing. Our second technique is called box breathing or breathing in a square. This technique is used by everyone, including Navy SEALs, anxiety specialists, because it's so effective at regulating our stress response. Here's how you practice box breathing. Sit comfortably in a chair with your back supported, one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. Fully exhale your lungs, so nothing's in there. Then you're gonna breathe deeply for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold that for 4 seconds. And that's 1 cycle. We're gonna do 4 cycles. As you're doing this, if 4 seconds feels a little bit too long, feel free to cut it down to 3 seconds or to 2 seconds and play around with the numbers. It doesn't have to be specifically 4. Any number is going to be beneficial for your nervous system. Our third technique is especially useful when it comes to acute stress or anxiety responses. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing technique and it was developed by Dr. Andrew Weil. And here's how it works. You can either sit comfortably or lie comfortably for this, but I still like to keep one hand on my belly, one hand on my chest to remind myself to breathe through my diaphragm. Then place your tongue directly on the ridge behind your teeth and keeping it there the whole exercise. You're gonna do a full exhale through your lungs, inhale for 4 seconds, that's our first 4, hold that for 7 seconds, and then exhale for 8 seconds. This is gonna be a really slow, drawn out breathing practice with our tongue staying on the back of our teeth the whole time. This technique is incredibly effective right before bed if you're laying there and you're feeling really stressed out and not able to fully relax. Now let me address some common questions that people have when discussing breathing practices. First, how often should you be doing these breathing practices? Ideally, it's going to be at minimum 5 to 10 minutes once or twice daily. But it's really going to depend on you and your situation. You can always use these techniques when you have acute stress or acute anxiety to help calm yourself down. Second, many people want to know how quickly these techniques work. While you're likely to feel some immediate effects, this is more of a compounding benefit kind of thing. You're going to see a much easier time going into your relaxed state with more and more breathing practice. Third, and this is something that I've personally asked, is it natural to feel lightheaded when doing breathing practices? And yes, but it's not what you're looking for. If you're starting to feel lightheaded while you're doing breathing practices, it may mean you're breathing too deeply or too quickly. Slow down and take less deep breaths and the sensation should pass. I encourage you to experiment with these 3 different techniques over the next week, playing around with what works for you in what situations. You might find out that simple diaphragmatic breathing is enough to get you out of your stress response and bring you back into a relaxed state. The power of these techniques comes from their simplicity and the ability for you to do them anywhere and at any time. No matter where you are or what you're doing, breathing can be an easy technique for you to implement. In our next video, we're going to discuss simple movement practices that you can use to alleviate some stress. Until then, I invite you to practice these breathing techniques and let me know in the comments down below how they're working out for you. I'll see you guys next week.